requires any high school family life education curriculum offered by a local school division to incorporate age-appropriate elements of effective and evidence-based programs on the law and meaning of consent. Under current law, such elements are permissive in any high school family life education curriculum. Recommendation from the subcommittee was to recommend reporting on an 8-0 vote, and I would so move.
All right, the motion on House Bill 2205 from the subcommittee is to report House Bill 2205. Any member of the committee have any questions regarding this bill? Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak in favor or in opposition to the bill that did not have a chance to do so? All right, all those in favor or opposed to reporting House Bill 2205, please record your vote on the electronic voting system. All right, have all members voted? Clerk will close the roll. That bill reports 19-0. Delegate Bell.
Mr. Chairman, House Bill 2338 is your very fine piece of legislation. It requires the Board of Education and its graduation requirements to require students to earn a verified unit of credit in Virginia and U.S. history through the successful completion of a board-developed end-of-course standards of learning assessment or achievement of a passing score on a board-approved standardized test administered on a statewide, multi-state, or international basis that measures content that incorporates or exceeds the standard of learning content or achievement of criteria for the receipt of a locally awarded verified credit from the local school board in accordance with criteria established in board guidelines when the student has not passed the corresponding standards of learning assessment. Mr. Chairman, there is a substitute. I would move the substitute.
All right, the motion before us is to adopt the substitute for House Bill 2338. Any member of the committee have any questions regarding the substitute? All those in favor of adopting the substitute, please that wishes to do so. All right, all those in favor or opposed to reporting and referring House Bill 2599 to the Committee on Appropriations, please record your vote. Have all members voted? The clerk will close the roll. That bill reports and refers to the Committee on Appropriations 19-0. Delegate Bell.
House Bill 2646, patron is Delegate Hugo. It reduces from 29 to 28 the maximum class size in kindergarten, from 30 to 28 the maximum class size in grades 1, 2, and 3, and from 35 to 29 the maximum class size in grades 4, 5, and 6. The recommendation from the subcommittee was to report and refer to appropriations on an 8-0 vote, and I would so move.
And we do have a letter on that one as well. All right, the recommendation is to report and refer House Bill 2646 to the Committee on Appropriations. Any member of the committee have any questions regarding this bill? Is there anyone in the audience that didn't have a chance to speak in subcommittee that wishes to do so? All those in favor or opposed to reporting possibly Wednesday? So, all right, the next subcommittee report we have. The next subcommittee report we have is subcommittee number 3, Delegate Leftwich.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first bill is House Bill 1920, patroned by Delegate Stolley, and it requires the State Council of Higher Education for Virginia and awarding grants pursuant to the new Economy Workforce Credential Grant Program to give priority to institutions in high-demand fields. There were amendments, so I move the amendments.
All right, you have the amendments for House Bill 1920. Any questions regarding the amendments? All those in favor of adopting the amendments to House Bill 1920, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the amendments are adopted. Delegate Leftwich.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, the recommendation of the subcommittee was to report House Bill 1920 as amended, and I so move.
All right, the motion from the subcommittee was to report as amended House Bill 1920. Any member of the committee have any questions regarding this bill? Anybody in the audience that didn't have an opportunity to speak in subcommittee wish to do so? All those in favor of reporting House Bill as amended, House Bill 1920, please record your vote on the electronic voting system. As soon as the computer frees up. It's loading.
Can you call Sean, please? Do you know how to get it out of this spinning head? Oh, it's
All right, there you go. Everybody please record their vote. Have all members voted? Clerk will close the roll. That bill reports 20-0. Delegate Leftwich.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, the next bill is House Bill 2337, patroned by the chairman, and this requires the governing board of each public institution of higher education to provide and discuss certain information relating to the rate of undergraduate tuition and mandatory fees at meetings preceding the meeting at which it sets such rate. The bill also requires that reports be provided to the various leaders in each body and the governor. There was a substitute, so I move the substitute.
All right, you have the substitute. Any questions regarding the substitute? And Delegate Leftwich, I think we have a couple minor technical changes that we need to make to the substitute too. So let me get Ryan to explain those.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On line 40 of the substitute, after the word "at," strike the and insert "a." Then after the word "meeting," strike immediately, so that the subsection D would read, "at a meeting preceding the meeting described in subsection E." And then one more, Mr. Chairman, likewise on line 54, subsection E, after "at," strike the insert "a." And then after "meeting," strike immediately, so that this would also read, "at a meeting preceding the meeting at which the governing board sets the rate."
All right. Does everybody understand those? Those are more technical. It's also in an effort to provide some more flexibility for the institutions and to make sure we're not conflicting with Delegate Mieri's bill on public comment. So if there are no, Delegate Davis.
Mr. Chairman, just a question. I really, really like this bill a lot. And we got concerned a little bit about Delegate Mieri's bill being watered down. Just because I'm not an attorney, if it was the meeting, would that imply that it had to be a board meeting? And if it's a meeting, imply that it no longer has to be a board meeting? I just wanted to get clarification on that.
No, my understanding is it still has to be a board meeting, but it just provides them some flexibility so that, again, there'd be less conflict or potential conflict with Delegate Mieri's bill, but also lets them just make sure that they can make sure they have it during a board meeting, but it just doesn't specify as much that they have to have it this time, and this time specifically.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Trying to help our institutions of higher learning out a little bit. All right, any other questions on the substitute that's been amended? All right, all those in favor of that substitute, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Those opposed? All right. Delegate Leftwich.
So, Mr. Chairman, the subcommittee recommended reporting the substitute on a vote of 8-0, and since the amendments appear to be technical in nature, I move that we report the substitute as amended today.
All right. All right, the motion before us is to report the substitute.
Radford University, we greatly appreciate your willingness to work with the institutions on your bill. And without having the language in front of me, I can say at this point we do support the legislation. So thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Annie Morris with ODU. I seem to be bringing up the rear here for our institutions.
No, there's one more I see in the back, and there will be here up here too.
Mr. President, would you like to join me? We certainly echo the sentiments of our fellow institutions and fully support transparency. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, John Putney, JMU, we're good with the bill. Thank you.
Very good. The reason I went through this exercise is I'd heard there were still some concerns from the institutions, and I wanted to make sure, after having worked with Chev and after having worked with, I believe, the institutions, that there weren't any problems. And I hope there won't be any surprises when and if this crosses over to that other body called the Senate of Virginia. All right, Delegate Leftwich, the recommendation of the subcommittee was
to report the substitute as adopted by this committee this morning.
All right. All right. Any other questions by members of the committee? Is there anybody in the audience that did not have a chance to speak in subcommittee that wishes to do so? All those in favor or opposed to reporting the substitute for House Bill 2337, please record your vote. All right, the clerk will close the roll. That bill reports 20-0. All right.
To place House Bill 2570 on today's full calendar.
All right. A motion's been made to place the bill number again?
House Bill 2570 is Delegate LaRocque's bill.
All right. 2570 on the calendar, just as we did with Delegate Jones's bill. All right. Any questions regarding the motion? All right. All those in favor of placing that bill on the calendar or the agenda for today, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. That bill is before us. Delegate Helsel, did you?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, I have a motion.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, having voted on the prevailing side, I would move to reconsider HB 2570.
Well, since we've already put it on the agenda, Delegate Helsel, I know it was in a similar posture as the previous bill, did not get reported. I think we can discuss the bill now. Would you like to address the legislation?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Delegate LaRocque, do you want to explain the bill?
Be glad to, Mr. Chairman. Thank you. This is a very simple suggestion, Mr. Chairman. Currently, the opt-in or opt-out paradigm requires parents to take an affirmative action to, if they choose not to have their child participate in all or part of family life education. This bill proposes that we reverse that to give parents a greater opportunity to participate in the education of their child, particularly with the content of FLE, by requiring that they opt into the curriculum. And that, in a nutshell, is the proposed change to the law.
Okay. Any members of the committee have any questions regarding House Bill 2570? All right. Is there anybody in the audience that wishes to speak in favor or in opposition to House Bill 2570? Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Michael Boyd, Fairfax County Schools. We're strongly opposed to switching family life, the current paradigm for family life from an opt-out to an opt-in. Currently, parents have ample opportunity to look at the curriculum. If they have objections to the curriculum, if they have concerns, they're given the opportunity to not only look at the curriculum, but also to opt their student out, either in part or in full. Switching this to an opt-in would require every single parent in Fairfax County to affirmatively opt into the program. We have 185,000 students. You can imagine that simply the process of doing that would be quite burdensome. We're very concerned that this will have a very significant impact on the family life program. So for those reasons, we ask you to oppose.
Let me ask one question regarding this. Do not all parents receive information in packets at the beginning of the year? And cannot and will not you be willing to add information if we require you to do so, to ask them that if they'd like to have their student in or out of FLE?
We currently do send out information. The issue, I think, with this particular proposal is that a lot of times if parents don't check the box, I think that it would be incumbent upon the local school division to follow up with parents to make sure that they were actually paying attention to the question that was asked, because obviously parents are asked multiple questions. The reason the opt-out paradigm works as well as it does is because those parents that are engaged and concerned about this already have that opportunity, already have the information that they need. For a lot of parents, they may simply not check the box. It would be incumbent upon us to go back to the parent and say, did you really mean to not have your student participate, or did you simply just not check the box?
Okay, thank you. All right, who else wishes to speak Usually ask for the folks that are proponents, but since we started the opponents, we'll do that and then go to the those in favor. Keep you all grouped together.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, I'm Kathy Bircher with the Virginia Education Association, and we oppose the legislation.
Okay.
Chairman Tom Smith, the Superintendent's Association. Years ago, when the General Assembly, and I remember when that was because I was a local administrator, began the discussion on family life, and they sent it to the communities to determine whether or not, under board guidelines, they would do it or not. Decisions like this, whether they're going to opt in or opt out, it's my opinion, should be done at the local level. The majority of them are opt in. Opt out for the simple reason that Mr. Malloy said. The logistics of having to do that would greatly impact the program. But these decisions are best done at the local level. And so I would say that if parents had concerns about this, the best place to deal with that is with their local school board.
Okay, thank you. All right, real quickly.
Mr. Chairman, Stacey Haney, the School Board Association. I've got some concerns with this, not the least of which is that, if you shift to an opt-in instead of an opt-out, the default will be that students aren't in it unless their parents are paying attention and are engaged and opt them in. So we'll have a lot of students who don't receive this curriculum. And it's important to note.
Ms. Haney, are you saying that the school system wouldn't follow up, as Mr. Malloy just said?
Well, I think that we would, but that would be a burden on us. But I think that we would. But I still think the default is the students don't participate. And so if the parents never respond, the student doesn't participate. And I think it's important to know that this family life isn't just sex education. There are a lot of things that this committee has put into the family life curriculum, like the bullying, the mental health. Those are all family life. And so if the parents don't affirmatively opt in, the students
Delegate
will not
Cole
receive.
has a question, I think, for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. You said that if it gets flipped, so you have to opt in and you don't hear anything, you're going to follow up. My understanding now is it's currently opt out. Do you follow up if you don't hear anything on the opt out?
If a parent doesn't opt out,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman and Delegate Cole, I don't know the answer to that question.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Emily.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Emily Webb with the Department of Education. The administration does oppose this bill. As you've heard from the other speakers, there are several provisions for parents to opt a student out, as well as to review the materials. School boards must provide parents with a summary of the FLE program that informs them of their right to review all materials on the FLE program. And as Ms. Haney said, the board's guidelines do provide for a comprehensive sequential K-12 curriculum that includes age-appropriate instruction on a variety of topics that also include human reproduction, sexual assault, dating violence, as well as mental health, education, and awareness.
All right, thank you. All right, I think that's the end of the opponents, and now we can hear from the folks in support of.
Sure. Mr. Chairman, Todd Gackey with the Family Foundation. The current process is the default assumes that the parents already agree with the curriculum and therefore the children are going to go through it, as opposed to giving them the permission to have their children go through the program. And this allows for potential pitfalls. We had a personal experience with that, in which child didn't go or didn't get opted out. The form was not received. Occasionally, we have the wrong students being taken out instead of the right students. I think that to avoid all of those mistakes, those unfortunate administrative mistakes, it would be a lot simpler to allow the parents to decide up front, regardless of what the content is of the FLE, to decide if they want their children to go through it. The parents have the ability, the right to direct the education of their children, and we want to ensure that they have that authority to do that.
All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members. My name is Tom Antorcio, and I'm an Associate Director with the Virginia Catholic Conference, and we are pleased to support HB 2570. We support the legislation because it supports parental rights in line with Section 1-240.1 of the Virginia Code, which was adopted by the General Assembly in 2013 in both chambers by decisive majorities. And that section just reads, a parent has a fundamental right to make decisions concerning the upbringing, education, and care of the parent's child. And we believe that the presumption that goes along with a required opt-in is more in line with this provision than an opt-out. And for that reason, we ask for your support. Thank you.
Okay. Delegate Cole.
I have a motion, move to report.
All right, there's a motion and a second to report House Bill 2570. I think we've had hopefully enough discussion. All right. Delegate Cole, did you have anything else? Okay. All right. All those in favor or opposed to reporting House Bill 2570, please record your vote on the electronic voting system. All right, the clerk will close the roll. That bill reports 12 to 8. All right, hold on just a sec. I just got a speaker's letter on my bill. So just to make sure everybody's treated the same, it's House Bill 2338, which I think deals with standards of learning. Yeah, Virginia and U.S. history. I was hoping that we wouldn't get a letter, but you know what? We just got one. So we need to reconsider the vote by which we reported.
To reconsider the vote by which we reported 2338.
All right. All right. All those in favor of reconsidering the vote by which we reported House Bill 2338. She's going to get rid of that. This is a voice vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. Now, the proper motion would be to report and refer House Bill 2338 to the Committee on Appropriations.
So moved.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Yeah.
All right, there's a motion and a second to report and refer the substitute for House Bill 2338.
Mr. Chair,
Delegate King.
I hate to take any more time, but I just want to make sure, because we do have some new members of this committee, even though I agree with the posture of referring this to the Appropriations Committee, it is a report and refer, which means that if you're still against the underlying policy that as we substituted, unfortunately, the proper vote for you, if you choose to, would be to vote no, even though this is going to Appropriations, because it's also an underlying measure. So that's the reason why I'll be voting no, but I do support the idea of it going to Appropriations, Mr. Chairman.
All right. All those in favor or opposed to reporting and referring House Bill 2338 to the Committee on Appropriations, please record your vote. All right, have all members voted? All right, clerk will close the roll. That bill reports and refers to the Committee on Appropriations 10 to 8. All right, that's all of our business. Is there a motion to adjourn? All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye. All those opposed, we're adjourned.